Hey everyone, today I want to talk about how to practice self-care without feeling guilty about it. Okay. So if you're on, go ahead and pop on, say hey, or say hey when you're watching this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brittany, and I'm all about helping moms just kind of re-find their purpose and passion and digging deep, right, into ourselves. And so, how to practice self care without feeling guilty. This is something that I feel like all moms struggle with. Let me know if you're like, yes, me too. And I think there's a lot of reasons why for that. I think the biggest thing is just the way that as women we're raised to think like we have to be the caregiver first in all situations, right? Like, it's okay to work if you still come home and cook dinner, right? It's okay to go get your nails done as long as the house is clean first, right? And like, it's okay to do these things if the kids are taken care of, right? Like, oh, it's okay to go take a break in your room if the kids are playing independently and I don't have to do anything, right? And none of those things are true. And that's not really how our society works anymore, right? Like a lot of us have, myself included, husbands who help out, they'll cook dinner, they'll do the dishes, all of the things. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we've internalized, based off of our history of culture and things like that, that we have to be caregiver first, which then somehow in our brains that gets all jumbled up to say we can never take time for ourselves. And if we do, you should probably feel pretty bad about it because then that means you're not being a caregiver. Right? But that's not true. All right. So now I want to talk about some ways we can work around that. And I actually have 3 ways that you can practice self care without feeling guilty. And one more thing that I wanted to say, well, actually, I'll just talk about this. So, the first thing is to keep track of all of the things you are doing. Okay, so basically, like we have to do lists, and I got this from a friend of mine. It's not my terminology. I've done this before, but it's not my terminology. She actually calls it a ta-da list, right? So you have your to-do list and your ta-da list. And your ta-da list, like, ta, look what I did today, right? And so it's not, our productivity is not the precursor to our worthiness, right? And what I mean by that is you are worthy whether you get a lot done in a day or whether you get nothing done on a day, right? And you decide to just lay on the couch all day, right? That doesn't determine your worthiness. But oftentimes we do. Like, oftentimes that is our thought process, right? I can't take a break. I can't have time for myself because I still have to do this, 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 and this. And if I don't do this, this, and this, then I'm lazy and I'm a terrible mom. Not true, but that's what our mean girl voice says. Right? So having a ta-da list just allows you to really see the amount of things that you do in a day, even when you feel like you haven't done anything. And what you put on this list is pretty much anything that you've done that you want to include on the list, right? So it can be something really big, right? Like I finished this huge project, or it can be like the smallest thing. Like I changed my kid's diaper 4 times today. Right? I did the dishes. I vacuumed. I like showered, right? Or I, gave the kids a bath, or, I took the trash out. I picked up a wrapper off the coffee table. All right, so that's the first thing, like keeping track of all of the things you do accomplish, right? That's kind of like, that just tricks our brain. And instead of feeling down and hard on ourselves that we didn't do enough, so we didn't earn our self-care, even though that's not a thing, but our brain, our mean girl voice does that. That's why I'm bringing it up. Okay. And I completely lost where I was going with that, because then I was like, oh, my brain just started firing all these things I wanted to say about that. That's a whole other video topic. And now I completely lost. Oh, now I had to look in my notes. Certainly where I'm at right now. Okay, so if you really want to dig deeper into that, right? And if you're a data person and you want to see the data, like you want to see the proof, right? Right? Like go through your day and think about how much time you are spending serving everyone else. Right? I did the dishes for the family, 20 minutes. I did this, right? Or even, take an estimate. Okay, I wake up, I know I spend an hour getting the kids ready for school. I know that's right. And then tally up how much time you actually spend in self-care during the day. And I bet what you're going to see is a huge contrast. And for some people, if you're that kind of analytical, data-driven mind, you might realize like, oh, I don't have to feel guilty about taking time for myself because my 20 minutes a day or my hour a day of my self-care time is very small in comparison to what I do for everybody else out there. And that's just for like I said, those people that have, like, my brain kind of goes to that analytical, logical state, right? Like, oh, I can see it very clearly now. I don't feel guilty because this is 1 hour versus, the other 16 hours, 17 hours that I'm awake, Okay, so list out kind of more your accomplishments versus your to-do, and then keep track of the minutes. The next one is to like put it on your schedule or make it into your routine. All right, and when I'm talking about self-care right now, like, yes, it could be getting your nails done. Yes, it could be a spa day. Yes, it could be, lunch with the girls or whatever. When I think of self-care, I think of more of the day-to-day. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. So just to clarify, like the day-to-day, because I know some of you are thinking like, I can't go get my nails done every day or go get a massage every day. I totally get that. This is like things you can do at home, right? In like 20 minutes to an hour a day. That's what I'm thinking about self-care, right? Like the things we do, the tender loving care we give ourselves every single day. I just wanted to clarify that. So the next thing is like put it on the schedule, put it on your planner, build it into your routine. Actually, I had another friend just post about this, I think yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, based on her schedule. And she was talking about, she actually put a nap. She woke up super early and she actually put a nap in her schedule. Like at this time is my nap time. I'm blocking this time out. And I thought that was genius. Because that, if it's not in our schedule, we tend to feel more guilty because we're like, well, what about the other things that are on my schedule? What about the other things on my to-do list? So if you can add in your self-care onto your to-do list or into your planner or your schedule, then it's like, again, we're tricking our brain to tell ourselves, this is needed. This is just as high of a priority as these things over here. I am just as high of a priority as the people I take care of. And that's true. And if you don't feel like you're as high as priority as the people you take care of, then that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. I'm getting lots of other video ideas today, this morning, I guess. So for me, I build it into my routine. So I actually wake up like an hour before my kids wake up, or I try to anyway. And I do my self-care routine first thing when I wake up. It's like having that first cup of coffee. You just kind of need it to survive the day. So mine's not necessarily written in my schedule. I did that for a while because I like to be like, yeah, I did that, right? But for me, it's my routine now. Like I wake up, I do my coffee, I do my self-care routine before anybody else wakes up. And that's just me. And then the third thing, because I'm getting close on time here, is to just get curious. Okay? Like just become aware. So you shouldn't curiosity, but also self-awareness. Like when you're starting, if you're hopefully you'll do those other two and you like won't feel guilty anymore, but it still creeps up sometimes, right? Like it's not a linear thing. Like we have ups and downs. I still feel guilty sometimes. No big deal, right? So if you are like self-awareness, curiosity, and reflection play a huge part in this, right? Because normally what we do is try to have self-care, feel guilty about it, then we get mad at ourselves for feeling guilty. Let me know if this is you. We get mad at ourselves for feeling guilty, and then it's like, oh, well, why even do self-care? Because, right? And that your brain, your mean girl, just we feel mad at ourselves, and then we feel like we ruined our self-care, and all of the things. So if we get curious, and we have the self-awareness, and we have the reflection, we can say, why am I feeling guilty about this right now? Is it, and it doesn't have to be one of these things, but these are some of the things that I know come up for me. Is it I don't feel like I earned it? Is it I feel like I have higher priorities? Right? Because when we can acknowledge these things, then we can find the falsehood in them and we can state our truth. Okay? So, do I feel like I didn't get enough done? Do I feel like I'm not as high as priority? Is it because I feel like if I have self-care and I take time away from everybody and everything, that things are going to fall apart, right? Like, is it a control thing? Do I now want to take self-care because then I have to give up control of my environment? We're not going to come to that conclusion unless we take time to become aware and reflect. Right? Do I feel like I'm feeling guilty because I cannot let someone else do the thing because I feel like I need to control it? Okay. So is it because I don't feel like I'm worth it? I don't feel like I'm as high a priority. I don't want to give up control. If I'm not there to do it, then they're not going to do it right. Right? And when we have those things, then, and it could be something else, right? I just don't know. I feel guilty because, I don't know. Those are the big ones. All of a sudden, everything left. But that's okay. I think you guys get the idea. All right? So just get curious, become aware, journal about it, reflect about it, just think about it. Like, why am I having these feelings of guilt right now? And when you can pinpoint it, right, and your mean girl's going to have something to say, like, you're not going to have to worry about, like, I don't know why I'm feeling guilty right now. I promise you, your mean girl voice will be like, because this, and this, duh. Right? That's my impression of my mean girl. Anywho, so those three things, how to practice self-care without feeling guilty. Let me know what you guys think. And actually, if you are like, it's because I don't feel like I can accomplish it all, right? I actually have a resource. It's in the description. It's totally free. It's called like 6 Ways to Do It All Without Mom Guilt or something like that. So if you guys want to check it out, the link's in the description. If not, no big deal. I figured I'd just let you guys know that it's there if you want to access it. Otherwise, you guys have the best day, and I will see you